Compulsory English. Grade 11. Time 3 hours. FM 75. Candidates are required to give answers in their own words as far as practicable. The figure in the margin indicates full marks. Attempt all the questions. 1. Read the following passage and do the activities that follow. 15. Revising for exams. The way to do well at history is to know which study techniques work best for you as an individual. Nevertheless, here are some sensible guidelines that are worth following. A. Apply good study skills from the beginning of your course rather than seek magical solutions a few weeks before the exam. Ideally, every evening you should read through the notes you made that day, improving them and making sure they are useful. Then, every few months, go through all your notes. This will make your final revision much easier. In this way, essential information will be committed to your long-term memory and will be readily recalled, even under stressful exam conditions. You will also avoid last-minute cramming, which is seldom useful. B. Make sure that you have a copy of syllabus or course handbook. Check the format of your exam. How many papers? How many questions must be answered? Are there any compulsory sections? Sort out any external or personal problems that might hamper your progress. If necessary, talk with your tutor, student counseling service or doctor. From Easter, cut out or cut down your weekend employment until after the exams. C. Listen to your teacher's advice on important areas or likely questions. Select topics for revision. Decide what number you need to know about. For example, if you are required to answer your questions, go through the papers of the last few years and make sure that you can answer 5 or 6 of them. If you can answer them all, take care, you are probably working too hard. D. Do not work from poor material. Improve your notes by comparison with a friend's or read them alongside a textbook, making any additions and modifications needed. Make sure that you understand them before you try to commit them to memory. If you don't, the ideas simply will stick. Underline, color or highlight headings and key points. E. The more your notes are rewritten, the better you will remember them. Summarize key information on each topic on one $1 page. Abbreviate again on small index cards, carry them round with you and learn them whenever you have a few spare minutes. If you are having difficulty remembering key quotes or dates, write them out and put them in places around the house where you will see them frequently. Perhaps record them on tape. But remember to think actively about key issues as well as memorizing information. Your aim should be to look at old, familiar material in a new way. F. Working with a group, the right group for you, will enable you to share ideas, notes and books and can help alleviate boredom and stress. Revising in pairs is good, but working in groups of 3 or 4 is better. The idea is to meet for 2 or 3 hour sessions 2 or 3 times a week at home, school or college. Look for a working environment with minimum distractions. Discuss questions or problems, do timed questions, read out answers for group criticism, test each other, prepare outline answers. G. When your teachers give you practice exams to do in class time, enter into these wholeheartedly. They will help you assess your progress and familiarize you with working under strict exam conditions. Afterwards, take note of the feedback you receive. Pinpoint the errors you made. Did you include too little information, or misread the questions, or run out of time? What does your mark tell you about your revision techniques? H. Far more exams are failed because of too little work than too much. But often the brightest students work too hard at revision and worry unnecessarily. So take regular exercise, get plenty of sleep, and maintain a sensible social life. If you are an arch worrier, then by moment, you can't worry if your mind is occupied with something else. But remember that the aim is to reach your peak at the right time, so be sure not to go into the exam room exhausted from overwork. Frenetic late-night cramming can be easily avoided by the sort of revision techniques outlined above. A. Choose the best answer. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. A. The word cramming in the last line of first paragraph means I. Study unresistingly before exam. 2. Study intensively before exam. 3. Inactive study before exam. 4. Study irresistibly before exam. B. Synonym for the word abbreviate in the last sentence of paragraph E is I. Thrive 2, expand 3, spread out 4, abridge. C. The word alleviate in the paragraph F is opposite in meaning to I. Aggravate 2, assuage 3, palliate 4, facilitate. D. The word pinpoint in the paragraph G has similar meaning to I. Lose 2, overlook 3, displace 4, nail. E. The antonym of the word frenetic, last paragraph, is I. Delirious 2, overwrought 3, tranquil 4, rabid. B. Choose only one suitable heading from column B for each paragraph of the passage given in the column A. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. Column A, column B. Paragraphs, headings. A, B, 4, organize. B, C, V, work out what to revise. C, D, 6, use various formats for your notes. D, F, 7, study with your colleagues. E, H, I, know when to stop. 6, start early. 3, read textbooks. C, answer the following questions. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. I, when should you check what you have noted down earlier in the day? You should check what you have written or noted earlier in the day at the evening. 2. Near the exam, what should you either reduce or stop completely? Weekend employment should be reduced or stopped completely near the exams. 3. If you can answer all the questions from past exams, what is this often a sign of? If we can answer all the questions from the past exams, it indicates that we are working too hard. 4. Where is a good place to write down brief notes? A good place to write down brief notes is the place in our house where we frequently visit. V. What problems can be relieved by revising with other students? The problems like boredom and stress can be relieved by revising with other students. 2. Write short answers to the following questions. 5 times 2 is equal to 10. A. The oval portrait suggests that the woman's beauty condemns her to death. Discuss. The oval portrait suggests that the beauty of a woman condemns her to death, and rightly so, because the painter wanted to paint her picture only because she was beautiful. If she wasn't beautiful, the painter would not have insisted her for portrait. B. Sketch the character of Jonathan Iwegbu. Civil Peace. According to the story Civil Peace, written by Chinua Achebe, Jonathan Iwegbu is a very optimistic character who still believes a happy life after the war. According to the story, Jonathan was happy with the condition of his family, and one phrase, "nothing puzzles God," that he frequently said reveals that he was quite a religious man. See, why does the poet compare the world with a stage? All the world's a stage. The poet William Shakespeare, in his poem All the World's a Stage, compares the world with a stage because he feels that world has to go through various stages, and so do the people. He wants to show all the phases in the life of people by comparing world with stage. D. According to the writer, what are the 4 general human needs, what I require from life? What I Require from Life is a short essay written by J.B.S. Haldane. In this essay, the essayist talks about 4 general functional needs. They are I. Work. 2. Freedom. 3. Good health. 4. Friendship or companionship. E. How do you explain the title of the play Trifles, by Glaspell? The play Trifles is a one-act play written by Glaspell. The title of the play Trifles means emphasizing on small matters in general sense. In the context of the play, Trifles refers to the very important aspects that are recognized as small matters but a vital role to solve the mystery. 3. Write long answers to the following questions. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. A. Write summary of the play A Sunny Morning by Serafin and Joaquin Alvarez Quintero. Dona Laura and Don Gonzalo are the main characters of the play who are in their old age and have come to the park. Similarly, the secondary characters of the play are Petra, who is the servant of Dona Laura, and Juanito, who is the servant of Don Gonzalo. Talking about the setting of the play is set on the beautiful park of Madrid during a sunny morning. The plot of the play begins with an introduction to Dona Laura, who is an old woman feeding to the birds. By the time Don Gonzalo comes to the park and becomes extremely angry on seeing the park full of people. The regular bench in which he used to sit was captured by priests. Unwillingly, Gonzalo goes to the bench where Laura was sitting. Laura starts abusing Gonzalo for chasing away the birds. By the time Gonzalo realizes that the situation was getting bad, and he offers a snuff box to Laura. Laura and Gonzalo start the conversation with their conversation, where Laura says that she was from Villa. Gonzalo also says that he was from Valencia. They further extend their conversation, and Don says that there was a woman from Villa who was quite beautiful. He further says that she was a kind of a girl who was similar to a princess and she loved someone. Laura enters into the conversation and says that she knew her and she was Laura Llorente. By the time, both Laura and Gonzalo have already realized that they were the lovers in one time when they were young, but they do not reveal their identity to each other. Laura says that Llorente was her friend who was in love with a boy named Don. She further says that Llorente loved him a lot. Don used to come to her during the morning with a beautiful flower, and, at the day, she used to give the flower to him. However, Llorente's family didn't like the love affair of Llorente. They wanted to marry her with a very famous merchant of Villa. One day, Don had a fight with the merchant. Don had to leave the city because the merchant was very popular in that city. Don tried to contact her with letters, but her parents didn't let any letters reach to the hand of her. After 2 years of long wait, Llorente married another boy. Gonzalo also says that Don, his cousin, tried to contact with her a lot, but he couldn't. So, he married to a dancer and went to Paris. Gonzalo adds that he became a soldier later on and was killed in a war. A mysterious thing here is that Laura Llorente is Dona Laura herself and Don is Don Gonzalo himself. They are lying to each other in order to hide their identity. The play ends with the promise of both Laura and Gonzalo to meet again in the next sunny morning at the same venue. B. Joe Goodwin Parker's essay, What is Poverty?, is about Parker, who has personally experienced rural poverty. What experiences has she mentioned in the essay? Write in short. The essay, What is Poverty?, written by Joe Goodwin Parker, is a touchy essay with deep philosophy and bitter truth of the society. In this essay, the essayist includes all her experience at the time when she was helpless and poor. The essay begins with the introduction of the essayist. Many experiences of her can be found in the essay that shatters our heart. When she was poor, she had children for whom she couldn't fulfill food, shelter, and proper education. She further shares that she was helpless and was in deep pain. She suffered with various diseases, but she didn't have money for her treatment. She wanted to educate her children, but she couldn't do so due to poverty and lack of resources. She further explains that her husband left her in order to get free from extreme poverty and family. She asked for help with many people, but people didn't respond to her request. Even the people who helped her later on took the advantage of her condition. She went to various organizations for help, but all she got was negative results and melancholy. So, these were the sorrowful moments of her life that she shares in her essay. The time she experienced those things were the darkest period in her life. And the people trying to take advantage of such poor and helpless women prove that there is nothing like humanity in this earth. If humanity is to be saved, various organizations and scholars should actively cooperate with each other to uplift the living standard of people and to provide moral education to the people. 4. The bar graph shows the export and import of merchandise trade and GDP of Nepal from 2006 to 2010. Write an interpretation of it in about 150 words. 7. The above bar graph shows the import and export ratio along with GDP of Nepal. Here is a short illustration or an interpretation of the graph that has been mentioned above. In the year 2006 AD, Nepal earned around $800 million by exporting different products. Similarly, Nepal imported various products by spending around $1,900 million. This proves that Nepal was in trade deficit. The total GDP of Nepal during the time was around $8,000 million. In the year 2007, Nepal earned around $700 million from export. Similarly, Nepal imported the products by spending around $2,100 million, which shows that Nepal was still in trade deficit. The total GDP during the year 2007 was around $10,200 million. Moving on to the year 2008, Nepal generated the income of around $900 million from export. Similarly, the expenditure of Nepal in the year 2008 in import was around $2,900 million. The GDP of Nepal in the year 2008 was around $12,600 million. Moving on to the year 2009, the total export income of Nepal was around $1,100 million, whereas Nepal spent around $3,500 million. The total GDP during the year was $12,500 million. Similarly, in the year 2010, Nepal generated the total income of around $700 million from export. Nepal spent around $3,500 million in import. The GDP of Nepal in the year 2010 was around $15,700 million. In the above graph, we can see a lot of ups and downs in the export rate of Nepal. Nepal exported the products and earned around $800 million in the year 2006, but the amount declined to $700 million in the year 2007. There was a slight incline in export rate in the year 2008 and 2009, where the export amount of Nepal in the year 2008 was $900 million, whereas it increased to $1,100 million in the year 2009. However, export decreased to around $700 million in the year 2010. Talking about the import rate, it kept on increasing year by year. In the year 2006, the import rate of Nepal was around $1,900 million, which increased to around $2,100, $2,900, $3,500 and $3,500 million in the following years 2007, 2008, 2009 and 2010 respectively. There was a positive change in the growth of GDP in Nepal. The total GDP of Nepal in the year 2006 was around $8,000 million, which increased to around $10,200 and $12,600 million in the year 2007 and 2008 respectively. However, there was a slight declination in GDP in the year 2009, which decreased to around $12,500 million. The GDP of Nepal increased again in the year 2010, which was around $15,700 million, which was highest among all. In the graph, import ratio being more than export ratio proves that Nepal suffered a lot of trade deficit during the time. There were ups and downs in export ratio, whereas import ratio kept on increasing. However, there was positive change in GDP of Nepal. Nepal has to work very hard in economic fields. 5. It is said that less makeup is better, and it's always better to let our natural beauty shine. However, both men and women spend a lot of money on beauty care these days, but it was not so in the past. What may be the root cause of this behavior? Write an essay in it discussing the causes and possible results. 8. Modern prospect of beauty. I have always believed in judging the people by their personality and looks that they have got from the nature. I am sure that I am not the only one who believes in natural beauty and personality. Jonathan Mark remarked, "Natural beauty is something that is a gift that you can save throughout your life." The definition filled me with rejoice. I wonder how beautiful is the nature and how beautiful are the humans who are the crown of the creatures. The modern world looks extremely complicated to me. The people have started neglecting the nature and believed all the unnecessary artificial products. People have developed various ways to become beautiful in an artificial way. I wonder and ask myself, is natural beauty not enough for the people? It seems like people want to prove that they have created the nature and the nature have not created them. We have forgotten everything. We have forgotten our culture, our tradition, our religion, and the natural substances that we use for getting better looks. People have started various kinds of beauty products like cream, hair oil, lotions, etc. People have even started changing their body structure through various surgeries. How can people be so repulsive towards the nature? We keep on talking about right to freedom and expression and right against violence. But we are not aware about the fact that we are hindering the freedom and the expressions of the nature. We talk about the right against the violence. But we have become violent to ourselves. All the humans should be jailed for dominating the nature. I can see only one cause behind people involving in artificial beauty. The main reason behind that is that people have become smarter than they should be. Science and technology are for good purposes. But we are misusing them to mislead the earth. Various products are being made artificially, destroying the nature. Around 2,700 trees get destroyed just to make toilet papers in a day. How rude we have been to the nature. I remember when computer was introduced for the first time. It was for reading and writing purposes. But people have developed various methods to destroy their natural beauty and the whole nature. The main cause behind natural beauty getting vanished is the negligence of culture and modernization. I do not say that westernization should be completely avoided. The positive aspect of the Western culture can be applied. But, in the name of Western culture, wearing unwanted clothes and beauty products is strictly prohibited by the nature. It is difficult to look in this earth, it is difficult to believe this is our home, it is really shameful for us to see men and women getting involved in adulteries in the premature stage. There is only one reason for this to happen, that is modernization and westernization. I believe that the barbarian tribes who live in the jungle of Africa are more beautiful than us because they have absorbed the nature very closely. They depend on nature for food and shelter, and they are happy with whatever they get from nature. But on the other hand, we are leading the earth towards destruction. It is really difficult for the people to go out on the streets during the night. We see the true example of the impact of artificial beauty and misguidance provided by modernization. World is to be destroyed if steps are not taken really soon. War, unhealthy competition, and modernization have destroyed our home. The scientists who believe that they can change the world with their intellectuality have already started a new home for themselves. Is it fair to the nature that we have destroyed the nature and we aren't making a commitment to save the lovely nature? I do not believe that scientists, doctors, and engineers are going to save the earth. Humanitarians and the people who are attached to the nature have the responsibility to save the nature and the natural beauty. If the nature is to be saved, modern technologies should be utilized properly and marginalized strictly. People should stop believing the stupid stuffs of the Western culture. Or else, nature will be destroyed, and so as the humans. I love the nature and natural beauty. But my lone efforts aren't going to be enough to save the nature. I am sorry to say that the crown of creatures is in danger. O nature, you have every right to punish us. 6. Films and computer games which contain violence are very popular. Some people believe they have a negative effect on society and so should be banned. Other people, however, say they are just harmless and help people to relax. Write a newspaper article analyzing both these points of view along with your own opinion. 10. Are films and computer games really violent? Humans are unarguably and undeniably the crown of creatures. Humans have created all the necessary resources required to sustain the life. The super creations of the human beings have spread to all the fields such as academic field, health, work, and even entertainment. People have invented various sources for the purpose of entertainment. Among such stuffs, films and computer games are the greatest entertaining sources for the people, especially in the 21st century. Films refer to the animated videos that are based on various themes and try to highlight different aspects. Similarly, computer games are the sources of entertainment that lets the people to get involved in them and get relieved from stress. In the beginning, computer games and films were made for the purpose of entertainment only. But, due to changing time, people have started to opt computer games and films as a career opportunity, due to which violence and illegal activities related games are getting highly popularized. We are aware about the fact that world is a pretty dynamic and progressive subject matter. Things keep on changing from time to time. The similar change has been seen in the field of computer games and films. Computer games and films have become violent and come with a content related to brutality. It is the truth that nobody can ever deny. There are two sets of people. The first set of people believes that computer games and films are the sources of violence and they should be banned. If we try to understand the philosophy of these people are extremely sensitive and worried about the society. These people want the society to be independent and free from violence. So they are not wrong at all. The second set of people believes that the computer games and films have violence but are limited to films and games only. So, they say that these things should not be banned. They are also not wrong in their way. These people are very calm and composed and believe that these aspects can be utilized in a proper way. It is the fact that there are a lot of computer games and films that comes with violence such as PUBG, GTA, Free Fire, Wrong Turn, etc. These people have a deep philosophy and believe that they are somehow necessary for the people. Talking about my personal opinion, computer games and films should be taken in a positive way. Computer games and films may have hampered some people, but they have also given the career opportunities for many people. Computer games and films may be violent, but they try to present the real situation of life. They also persuade the people to march in a right direction by showing the people the consequences of being violent. I believe that computer games and films are pretty much like other aspects that have both positive and negative aspects. But, the main thing is that people should accept it positively. If the mindset of the people is negative, any positive thing will be misused negatively. So, it depends on person that how that person accepts it. Computer games and films with violence are somehow important, so, if possible, the level of violence should be reduced, but they should not be banned. 7. Do as indicated in brackets and rewrite the sentences. 10 times 1 is equal to 10. A. I chased away an ugly dog. Underline the adjective and phrasal verb in the sentence. I chased away an ugly dog. Chased away, phrasal verb, ugly, adjective. B. 7 years. Is a long time to spend away from your friends and family. Fill in the blank with appropriate verb. 7 years is a long time to spend away from your friends and family. C. I complete my homework by tomorrow. Put the verb from the bracket in correct tense to make a meaningful sentence. I have been completed my homework by tomorrow. Put the verb from the bracket in correct tense to make a meaningful sentence. D. I lost my pen on the way. Buddy, you lend me your pen to fill the form? Put the correct modal verb in the blank to complete the sentence. I lost my pen on the way. Buddy, could you lend me your pen to fill the form? E. Take this medicine and you will get rid from of over the bad cold. Put the correct preposition in the blank. Take this medicine and you will get rid of the bad cold. Put the correct preposition in the blank. F. You had better choose who chose, chosen, third option. Fill in the blank with appropriate form of the given verb. You had better choose third option. G. Rosa. Fun at the party last Saturday. Appropriate form of a have verb. Rosa had fun at the party last Saturday. Appropriate form of a have verb. H. Jarvis and Albert are two scholars, founder of ABC Academy. Complete the sentences using a relative clause. Jarvis and Albert are two scholars who are founder of ABC Academy. I. He is seeking a job. Change into passive voice. A job is being sought. J. She said, I had my lunch at Gomez's house. Change the sentence into reported speech. She said that she had had her lunch at Gomez's house. 8. Do as instructed. 5 times 1 is equal to 5. A. Arrange the following words in alphabetical order: shroud, shy, shriek, shrine, shirt, shrivel. Shirt, shriek, shrine, shrivel, shroud, shy. B. I tried my birthday cake and yuck, it wasn't any good. What word classes do the underlined words in the sentence belong to? Birthday, noun, yuck, interjection. C. What does the sentence, "It's raining cats and dogs," mean? I. It is raining heavily. 2. It is raining lightly. 3. It is not raining at all. 4. It is raining over cat and dog. D. Mary looks much than Sarah because Mary dresses up. Add the correct form of word beauty in both spaces. Mary looks much more beautiful than Sarah because Mary dresses up beautifully. E. Choose the correctly spelt word. I. Pronunciation. 2. Liaison. 3. Embarrass. 4. Accommodate. The end.